I also have a 14-year-old daughter, and I gave her a chore list with 3 words on it, and she goes, "Where's your chore list?" You ever had a kid say something to you that then they're serious, but then you almost ruin it because you laugh? That's when I was like, oh God, what? And I just go, what did you say? And she goes, "Where's your chore?" She slowed it down, like I actually didn't hear her, you know? So I said, you know everything that happens in this house to make this home operate? Subtract the 3 things I asked you to do, and that is my chore list. Remember when you woke up in a bed, warm and not hungry? Fucking check, check, check. I did that shit. So my chore list also has 3 words on it, and it says, keep her alive. And it expires in 4 years, so focus. She's 14 now. When she was 12, I started listening to podcasts about periods. And I know that seems creepy. I'm positive I'm on a list somewhere. But I never wanted to be the dad that had to send her to her mom to ask her all those questions. I don't want you to know, like, that's a question for your mom. You know where to find me if you want to play catch. I mean, it's like ridiculous, right? So, I was listening to these podcasts, but I had to stop because one of them kind of creeped me out. It said, if you're going to show your daughter how to use a tampon, you push it into your hand. And then, so I was like, well, yeah, my hand's been a vagina. Okay, that makes sense. Sure. If you're looking for a number, you're not gonna get it. Just know that it has been. But then I pictured myself pushing a tampon into my hand, and oh my God, it just looks like a magic trick. Does it not? Just like, hey, whoa. Where's the tampon? You better find it, because toxic shock is real. My daughter got her period at my house for the first time, and she came downstairs and she goes, Dad, 2 things. Number 1, got my period. Number 2, don't want to talk about it. And I was like, number 1, great. Number 2, greater.
I'm a dad, so my life finally caught up with my looks. Just been looking like a dad for 40 years. Without kids, honestly, it was getting creepy, you know? People were like, that dad seems too drunk. Now it's like, hey, that dad is too drunk. My daughter calls me Papa. Yeah. Because we, as a society, ruined Daddy. Nobody's ever said, choke me, Papa. Maybe Barbra Streisand. So now my daughter has to refer to me like we live in a French fishing village in the 20s. Like, will we eat today, Papa? I don't rightly know, daughter. But it's been a little tough at home because I live with an anti-vaxxer. Yeah, my 4-year-old. And I thought it was just because she didn't like needles, you know? But then I saw her like drawing this picture and I was like, what is this, honey? She's like, oh, this is just Bill Gates trying to inject his microchip into me, Daddy. And I was like, all right, that's it. We're taking a bath. And she's like, 666 is the number of the beast. The vaccine was created by a supercomputer in Belgium. I'm like, all right, no more YouTube. And she's like, go get poked, you cock. It's like, no more Joe Rogan experience for you. It was a mistake to subscribe you. I have two children, and like two is, oh man, it's more than one, and there's so much more than one. And I don't know if I like who I am with two children. Do you know what I mean? Like recently at the dinner table, I screamed at my entire family, I don't care if everyone's crying, I'm eating. I don't want to be that man. I legitimately whispered under my breath to a 1-year-old, oh, you're such a fucking baby. No. And man, when I had one kid, I was so cocky about it. You know, if like someone was like, hey man, we're thinking about having a kid, should we? I'd be like, hey, is it hard? Yeah. But what that's worth doing isn't hard. And then if someone's like, hey man, should we have a second kid? I'm like, don't talk to me. I have 15 minutes to drink this vodka soda before going to bed because every minute that he sleeps, that I don't sleep, he gets stronger than me. I want to be a good dad. You know, I mean, most dads want to be good dads, except for those pieces of shit, you know? I want to be a good dad, so I got a vasectomy, like right away. I was like, no more me. The vasectomy was weird. I was hard the whole time. And the doctor was like, what's going on, man? And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, doc, if I'm excited to relieve my wife of the responsibility of birth control for the rest of her life. So just grab onto this shaft and neuter the patriarchy, bro. And he's like, you don't know how this works, do you? I was like, I do not.
When my son was born and the doctor handed me my son, it's crazy as a father because I knew I would die for him, right? And I don't even know this dude. He could be a terrible human being, but I would die for him, you know? But when they handed me my daughter, oh, it was different. I was like, oh, okay. I would kill for you. I became a murderer overnight. Because the family dynamic to me is crazy. Like, I would die for my son, I would kill for my daughter. But here's what's crazy. I wouldn't kill for my wife. Because that's not my job. That's her father's job. I don't want to step on anybody's toes.
I am an old dad. I'm 47, and but I don't care. You know, doesn't make a difference to me. I'm sure. I'm sure in Tennessee, I'm a grandpa for sure. You know, that's fine. That's fine. I take my baby out. They're like, "Oh, how old is your son that had that kid? That's your daughter? That's your Jesus." You know. But I don't care, especially because I live in Los Angeles, where I am not an old dad. I've been in the park next to a dude watching what I think is his great-great-great-grandchild. Dude's like 80 on his 7th marriage to a 24-year-old, and he's like, she demanded we make one of our own. I can't chase it. I'll give you $500. My back. But I spent a year with her, just me and her, taking care of her. When all the comedy clubs were closed, I had Rose and just took care of her. So when it was time to take her to daycare, you know, we decided after a year she goes to daycare, I was a wreck. Like, I was driving her over there with my wife, and I was like, well, this is the day, Rose, you get to meet some friends, and it's gonna be great. My wife was like, are you okay? Oh, like, no, are you all right? Are you gonna have a breakdown right now in front of our baby? Like, nope, not till we leave. And we go, and I was so dramatic, I handed her off like one of those movies where there's like a soldier going to war. She'll have a better life with you. And this tiny Latina's like, okay, bye-bye, just goes through the door. Like nothing, just took her away, and the door just shut, and we're like, oh. Ah! Went away and sobbed, like so sad. I will say I'm lucky to be a dad because people see you alone with a kid and they immediately help you. Like, I went and flew alone with Rose once to New York from LA, and everyone's like, where's your wife? She's just me and Rose. You're alone with her? Come here. You need to pee? I'll hold her. You okay? You're not drinking, just coffee. Okay, good. All right, we're here if you need anything. Like, they think you're just gonna, like, stuff the baby underneath the seat in front of you or something. You're totally useless. And, like, I'm like, in love with being a dad, and I have a wife who's kind of a pirate, you know? Like, I'm trying not to curse in the car anymore. I'm trying not to car curse anymore. I'm just, when you're driving, you're like, look at this fucker. God damn it, out of the way. Fuck him and kill you. God damn it. Like, I get virulent and I need to stop. I got a real anger problem, and she's in the back soaking it up like, this is good stuff. Just sponging it all in. And my wife is all over me. She's like, stop cursing in the car. Like, I don't want her first word to be motherfucker. I really don't. And she's got a great point, but she says savage stuff around this baby. And doesn't realize it. Like, once I was shirtless holding our child when she was still breastfeeding, and she went for my nipple. And I was like, whoa, nope, wrong parent. No milk comes out of this one. And my wife walks up and goes, just jizz. What the fuck? It's a baby. I'm holding a child. It's hilarious. But talk about a terrible thing. Jizz comes out of my dad. We're gonna send you home. She says stuff I would never say. My baby wakes up in the middle of the night crying. Kara just goes, this bitch. Like, come on. Stop it.
It's really hard being a pandemic parent during that. Was anybody else pregnant during that period of time? It was hard. It was so it's hard to explain to people how bad it was, just because we were in the epicenter, right? It was like for us, it was like March, April, May, June, right? The epicenter of the pandemic, 2020, right? And we couldn't see our friends, we couldn't see our families. I couldn't go to doctor's visits with my partner, right? We couldn't meet other pregnant couples who were going through the same thing, right? It was really sad, and it was lonely. Like, we didn't have a baby shower, like we didn't do a gender reveal because we're not idiots, like. Gender reveals is so stupid, man. Because it's not even the gender, it's the gender that was assigned at birth, right? Because imagine in like 15 years, your kid goes up to you, he's like, Dad, I'm transgender. Oh, what? You mean I accidentally burnt down that forest for nothing? Damn. So anyway, things were incredibly hard in New York, right? And you saw these stories of, bodies being put into freezers and into trucks, and we were constantly worried about getting COVID and the kid getting COVID, and it was just horrible. So we did what we thought made sense. We flew cross country to where her parents live to have the baby. It was a smart thing to do. Unfortunately, where we went, that place was San Diego. And I fucking hate San Diego, man. San Diego fucking sucks. Where, are you from San Diego? Or are we booing San Diego? The problem with boos is that they don't say a lot in terms of the context. Let me explain to you why San Diego sucks, all right? All right. When you ask somebody from San Diego what's great about San Diego, what do they say? Oh, the weather's wonderful, right? The weather's great, right? That's how you know it sucks. That means nothing else is going on. Just talking about the climate? What is that? In New York, we don't talk about the weather. We have a billion things to do and talk about, right? Also, our weather sucks here, so what are we even gonna say? Oh, summers in New York are wonderful. It's like 100 degrees and humid, and all the smells from the subway rise to the surface. all the ghosts of fluids past enter your nostrils and make the rent worth it. Luckily, we have a million other things to talk about. In fucking San Diego, people in San Diego don't go to museums unless there's a museum about board shorts. San Diego is an intellectual and cultural void. All it is people at the beach blasting Amber by 311 on repeat. That's all it is. Amber is the color of your energy. What the fuck does that mean, San Diego? My poor child was born there. And one day I'm gonna have to break it to him, because he's gonna have questions. Daddy, how come I struggle to read? You were born in San Diego, son. They're not big fans of the written word there. Daddy, how come people say I have a crappy personality? You were born in San Diego, son. Characters built on hardship. They don't even have rain there. Daddy, is the reason why I'm always kind of tan because I'm from San Diego? No, son, it's because you're half Indian. But the fact you asked me that stupid of a question is because you're from San Diego. The people in the hospital were wonderful. All the doctors and the nurses, all the staff there. I think they were all transplants from other cities, and they were great. On the second day, we met this lactation specialist who taught my partner how to use a breast pump, and she was wonderful. She loved her job so much, maybe a little too much. So at one point, she said, oh my God, I had so much extra breast milk after my last pregnancy, I started putting it in my cereal. That's how you know you've been in the breast milk game a little too long. When you start saying shit like that to civilians, not other people in the breast milk community. There's a big debate amongst parents, how long is too long to breastfeed your child, right? And I think that if your child is able to say, Mother, can I have some of your sweet, sweet breast milk? In a text message, it's probably too long. It's probably too long. Maybe it's time to unlatch. Me and my partner are not married, or as my mother tells her friends and family, we're married. Yeah, she's old school. She's old school about the idea of children out of wedlock. I know she's old school because she used the phrase children out of wedlock. I'm fine with that. You know, different generation, I understand that. What bothers me is when the government has judgments, right? After we had the kid, I'm in the hospital room, filling out a form, and the question is relationship status, and there's only two options, single and married. Well, I'm not single, we're not married, where's the box for us? Where's the box that says loving, deeply committed relationship, right? No box for that. A lot of missing boxes. No box for that, no box for like bad marriage, rando, open relationship where one person is into it way more than the other person. No, just single and married, right? So I reluctantly check single, give it back to the nurse. The nurse gives me another form. It's a proof of paternity form. It's a legal document I have to sign to swear this is actually my child, right? And I found out that married fathers don't have to sign that form because apparently the assumption is they're married, so clearly it's their kid. You know, give me an example where that's not the case. I don't know, Jesus? That seems to be a notable example. Must have been weird for Joseph to fill out the forms, man. I mean, like, okay, so we're married, right? But it was an immaculate conception, so like it's like God's kid, but we are like married, and he is my son, but you know, it's a little complicated. And then the nurse was like, "Oh, is that what she told you?" I know that some people don't like when I talk about Christianity. Like, why don't you talk about your own religion? How come you can't use your own religion for that joke? You don't think I want to? My God, perfect parallel, like Shiva and Parvati, right? And Parvati makes Ganesha out of turmeric and brings him to life. It's like perfect, right? But I can't use that example because nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about. Gotta explain everything. Oh, Ganesha, is that the monkey one? No, it's not the monkey one. Not the monkey one. Gotta explain what turmeric is. This is turmeric, you know? No? Turmeric. Oh, turmeric! Why didn't you say so? I love turmeric. Oh my, I put it in my chai tea. In my tea. And then I say namaste. It's pronounced namaste. Wendy at yoga says namaste, so I don't know. I like how I did so many jokes so far, and this is the one that bothers Brooklyn the most. This is the one that's a little too close to home. So, at a certain point, my partner and the baby, they left the room. I guess they went to get some tests or something, and this doctor walked in, and I was still pissed off about the relationship status question on the form. So I go up to him and I'm like, hey, I think this is bullshit that like it just says single and married because I'm neither of those things, but there's no box for me. Like there is no box for loving, deeply committed relationship. And I don't know if there's anything you can do about it, but I'd like to do something here. And he looked at me, he's like, hey, the government says you're single, so I say you're single. I say you party, man. Wait, you like nurses? I met the only doctor in this hospital from San Diego. Is that what happened? So then he's like, hey, you Indian? Which, whatever follows is not gonna be good, right? I'm like, yes, I'm Indian. He's like, oh, I went to med school with an Indian guy, which is suspect immediately, right? Like, oh, you went to med school with just one Indian guy? Just one? Just one Indian guy in your med school? Just one? Just, where was the med school? Pakistan? How on earth is that possible? How is that possible? Just one? Just one. So I went to med school with this Indian guy. He's Brahmin. Brahmins are like really strict caste. They don't eat meat. They don't drink alcohol. The other castes don't like them. And it's like so he's Brahmin. So we went out to dinner, and I offered him some chicken. He's like, oh, I can't eat that. I'm a Brahmin. And I'm like, oh, you're a Brahmin? Well, I'm a tit man. No wonder we're friends. And then he walked out of the room. And to this day, I don't know if this man was actually a doctor. You walk into my room, you tell me to cheat on my partner the day my child is born. You tell me a weird Indian caste joke with a pun, and then you leave. You're like the fucking reverse Patch Adams. Clown pretending to be a doctor.